Obviously, hats off to Oregon staff, players, who did a phenomenal job today. Coming in here as #1 team in the country with all the pressure on them. Thought they did a great job. Obviously, we helped them a lot. They did not play very well. I thought it was kind of two different teams as far as us. I thought in the first quarter we were good. We played well enough to win. I thought in the second quarter, all of a sudden we did the things that teams do that lose to them. All of a sudden we got out of gas, we turned the ball over. In the third quarter we came out with great energy. Took the lead in the third quarter. Didn't seem like it, but we took the lead in the third quarter, played well there early, and then I think went on a 0-24 run. And so, I think that as you look at it, we saw how to play them. We just did it for a little bit. Unfortunately, the other times, they ran up and down the field on us, and we did a terrible job on third down. And we gave them the ball back way too many times. I thought our defense at points played well enough to win, and I thought our offense was terrible today. And obviously, that's still for myself.
Was this a game where you missed an explosive downhill runner like Alan Bradford?
I don't know. We didn't feel very explosive in general on offense. Had a couple shots where it just didn't work out, and in general, it was just kind of a 3-yard type of game. And you're not going to win doing that versus these guys. You've got to score more points than that. You got to convert third downs. We were coming in with one of the best teams in the country, over 50% on third down. They did a great job against us today. We didn't get it done.
Why do you think the offense wasn't clicking? I mean, it had been playing pretty well for me today.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I think they probably played better in the front seven than I think maybe most people would have thought, or that they had at times during this year. But I think that defense, and I said it throughout the week, that defense didn't get any credit. But they're in a tough situation. They play well. They play well enough to win on defense over there, and they get put back on the field all the time after a minute. So I think that defense is better than we give credit for. We helped them out today. We were terrible.
It seemed like everything was pretty much the way you described it the last 2 weeks as far as them. There was no surprise. Did you feel anything happened that was different?
No, I didn't. And I didn't feel out there. I was kind of thinking coming in I was going to feel, because it was my first time being out there against that, even though our players had. And I thought I'd have the feeling like we couldn't even bring it out there. It was so fast, we couldn't even get lined up. I thought we got lined up well today, comparable to what some other teams had done. And then if you're going to give them that many chances and fail that many times on offense, those are two great players. The quarterback and the tailback had career days today.
If there was a time in the game when that type of tempo caught up with you, was it on those two long drives in which they took the lead there in the second half?
I'm sure it did, but I didn't feel it as much as I thought. And I think our 2 weeks of conditioning paid off. As crazy as that sounds, we gave up 600 yards. But we had some games earlier in the year versus Virginia here where we were gassed at the end of the game, and obviously the tempo was nothing there. So that sounds pretty weird, but I actually think that our conditioning paid off watching the game and watching our defense.
Those two drives, that's when you're talking about the third down defense let you down more than anything.
Pardon?
Those two long drives, that's where you're talking about the down defense was the thing that bothered you the most on those?
No. Our third down offense, we were terrible on third down. And so we kept putting our defense back out there on the field. There's a bunch of third downs we made there. It keeps it moving. It keeps our defense over there. We had a number of 3-and-outs. You're not going to win if you have 3-and-outs because they go right back on the field and you didn't change the field position.
Lane, about that, is it almost like a tennis match where you have to hold serve, and if you don't, on third down they get the ball back and they've got, they break your serve and you go up by 10 points?
I know nothing about tennis. So whatever that was, I don't know. But I know this. I said all week. I don't care if you try to slow the game down or speed it up. Whatever you do, you better score touchdowns against them. And so if it takes 30 seconds or if it takes 10 minutes, no matter. I know people want to have this game plan to come in versus them and let the play clock run out and slow it down. We did not do that today at all. And because you got to score, so it wouldn't do any good to slow it down. And I think if your team, well, who might say we just got blown out, but I think if your team feels that mentality, that you're slowing it down, you're running the clock down all the time, it'd be hard for me to face our guys. And so, you know, we've got to play a much better end of the game for the last quarter and a half. We took the lead in the third quarter and weren't able to hold on, which has happened to us a number of times this year.
Did you consider going for the touchdown on the opening possession? You end up settling for Joe kicking the field goal. You talked about it the last 2 weeks. Were you tempted at all just to say, screw it, let's go for it on fourth down and
Yeah, I
try
want
to
to
get
say
a
it was
touchdown?
4th and 6 maybe. I was trying to get us to maybe 4th and 1 or 2 there. And if I recall right, the defensive right corner knocked the ball. I made a great jump on the ball. I was trying to get us to 4th and 2, and I would have went for it in that situation. But 4th and 6, the percentages are so low, and we were in field goal range.
Now, why do offenses seem to really run out of gas in the second half against these guys? What seeing it up close tonight, what happens to offenses in the second half against them?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. I don't know the exact answer to it. You know, we ran 85 plays today. You know, I'm sure that's part of it. I don't think it's more about the offense. I think it's really that their defense is built off of speed and built off of conditioning. They don't have a bunch of big guys out there. You look at their back seven now, you know, or even Kenny Rowe, our middle linebacker is bigger than their right end. So I think he's done a phenomenal job of building his team for speed and for conditioning. And then once they get him there, they're in great shape. And so I'm sure all that work against the offense that they have to go all year long playing against that tempo has helped their defense. I get it. I saw it help us in 2 weeks, you know, of doing it. So I can imagine over the course of a couple of years.
Lane, you've lost twice at home this year. This team lost twice at home towards the end of last season. Do you think the mystique of the Coliseum that you had built up while you were in the season here has been lost to a certain extent?
Well, I think in the end, you got to win the games. You know, you're going to build that mystique. And, you know, this is last time I was here, when I left, we had won 5 straight years and I got lost. So this is my first experience walking out of here losing for now 8 years this season. But it's about making plays and it's about doing a great job of coaching. It's not about where you play and all that, you know. If we get the right players and we do a better job of coaching, then the mystique comes back. If you don't, then it doesn't.
In talking about the third down offense, you guys went for the shotgun pitch on 3rd and 5 after it didn't work earlier in the game. What was the decision behind that?
Yeah, one of very good calls, everything.
I agree. In hindsight.
Maybe Kohler called that, I didn't call that one. The first one was an audible, actually, that Matt audible out of because there was a weak side look that he checked to it. And the next one, we were just trying to get, because we were in the 4-down range, we were going to go for it on 4th down. We just wanted to make it hoping that we could run and get some yards, and unfortunately we lost 3 or 4 yards. Obviously, wasn't a very good call in the field pressure.
How do you not let this drag down your season, given that some guys are calling this a bowl game and talking about
Yeah,
the
that's why I
magnitude?
never called it a bowl game. You never heard me say that. It was the next game, and so I'm not worried about our guys. You know, we're gonna answer the same questions all week that we answered after Washington. Oh, now you're not gonna go 13-0. Then after Stanford, two in a row. Now what are you playing for? You know, we came out and our guys played great next week versus Cal. So we'll go back to work. So I don't go back to work. We won't change what we're doing. We'll go back to work extremely hard, and we'll be here 7 days from now. I'm gonna play a lot better.
You mentioned about bringing in the right type of players. What are the right type of players to be able to compete and beat a team like Oregon?
Yeah, you got to have the confidence that you're going to go in there. And we have some, don't get me wrong. Now we got to get a lot of them. You know, we've got to get a lot of guys on the same page that know that if we work extremely hard in the off season, we know that we can win. And so that's why we're here.
Was Barkley looking at you when that snapped?
Yeah, unfortunately, he came over and it wasn't supposed to be snapped, and then it all kind of went downhill there on it. It was a freeze play that then he looks back over and in the center after they didn't jump, snapped it. It wasn't supposed to.
One last question.
Do you feel like you've turned a corner in terms of penalties? The team played really disciplined.
We found something positive today. I appreciate you. Yeah, we only had 3 penalties today. That's about the only thing we did. Thanks, guys.